Hey, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, Amuse Jester. My name is Junior. Today, we're going to be reviewing Marvel Selects Captain America. This is the newer release. Um, and here is the box. Here's what's going to come with the figure. And let's flip it around really quick. There you go. There he is. And let's cut him open. All right, so we're back. He's out of packaging. And, okay, so let's check out and see really quickly what's going on with this figure. This is the newly released Captain America from Marvel Select. I resisted this line for the longest time. If you can believe it, this line actually first started to come out 2002. I actually have the very first Captain America from that line in his World War II uniform. At the time when I bought it, it was, I think, around $20, which was expensive at the time because back then the regular 6-inch lines were going for, like, I believe $12 or something. Much more cheaper. And I was concentrating on the 6-inch line rather than the 7-inch. So this was really, this scale was really not in the scale that I was collecting. This is the chainmail where it's only in few spots. It's not a completely covered chainmailed body. This evokes the style that was used in the comic books, where they would just usually just draw in certain parts with chainmail because it was too much work at the time. I even though I bought a few, since I didn't collect 7-inch lines, it never really went anywhere, that particular collection of mine. Plus, at the time, the first World War One uniform that was in the Ultimates design, the articulation, again, that's what was my problem with Marvel Select. The articulation they had was all over the place. So the way they had constructed the crotch section was it wasn't like this. It was just a straight cut like that, and it was really ugly. Well, not ugly, actually it was barely functional, but design wise it was really good because it kept the sculpt of the figure intact. But then they would have figures that had this kind of cut articulation, and then some of them are like the DC Universe cut type, which having a non-uniform selection of articulation really killed it for me. I don't know why Marvel Select or Diamond Select always has this one part over here. They don't really have any kind of base that connects to this one to make it steady. So I don't know why they have that in all of them. But this is very much classic Cap. Now, I am into Legends, and I feel like Marvel Legends from Hasbro is doing a good enough job that it's fulfilling everything of my wants and needs. But two factors did come into play. I do have more NECA figures now, and with the McFarlane figures being in 7-inch, which has a lot, which I obviously have a lot of now, the 7-inch line have started to gain attraction for me. And obviously the two recent ones that I got were the Titanium Man and the Crimson Dynamo. And there's this YouTuber that I'm watching, Toy Gains, and he paired up this Captain America with his McFarlane Superman, and that idea just kind of uh, developed for me, because I really do want the same scaled DC and Marvel. And fortunately, with McFarlane, he was a stickler for the 7-inch one, and my Hasbro Marvel Legends, which is 6 inches, kind of messed it up for me. I still have my DC Universe Classic 6-inch line, but obviously it's an older lineup. This is the This is the World War One styled Captain America, which is really cool that they give us this option. Yes, that's the only thing I don't like. You notice that there's two different types of flesh color going on over here. Um, so let me see why they did that. Looks like the base plastic is blue on the head and this one is flesh colored, so they tried to match it up and unfortunately they failed to do that, and it creates a discrepancy on that look. It just breaks it. That's kind of a shame. Let's compare it. Let's compare it to the one that's on the body. Yeah, that's exactly what they did too. But it's just more egregious in this one because of the flesh tone plastic. It also comes with this one over here. So so Toy Gains, when he did that, that was kind of interesting to me. I'm not gonna get the entire line of Marvel Select. I already have my Marvel Legends for completing Marvel characters, but I have decided to get the core characters if it was done in the classic style. Two fisted hands. Um, so for Splurge, I went ahead and got the entire Fantastic Four wave. I'm gonna look for a classic Iron Man and a classic Hulk and a classic Thor. Complete the Avengers in that way. Um, as you can see, this is bold, not bold, curved like that, but that's by design. And here's his modern shield, and this actually is a raised sculpting over here. It's not just paint. As you can see, it's raised and it's actually got, you know, texture and it's higher. And this is not just, there's actually two pieces of plastic in there, so it's not unlike Hasbro Marvel Legends. And there is a wash and the shield. It's not just plain red. It's the same thing I forgot to mention on the hands. The hands is not just like a plain red. There's a dark wash to it. I mean, it's not like perfect or it's not like one of the best ones, but at least there's an effort, you know. For articulation, oh, and I forgot this one. This one is his strap that goes over here. So we'll keep it basic. We'll go through the different variations. For articulation, the head can go up like that without the use of the neck. With the use of the neck, let's see. That's, oh, you know what? That's not using the neck. That's still on the ball joint of the head itself. Trying to get this right. There's not much down on the head itself, so you need to utilize the neck articulation, which gives you that much more. So that's kind of an interesting combination of both, where the head allows you to tilt back more, but the neck doesn't. But you can utilize that on the way down, so you can get a lot more down. That's pretty cool. In terms of the shoulder, it goes up that high. It does have a bicep cut. Again, there is a wash on the shoulder. It's kind of a shame that they, you know what? It's just the wash that's making this a whole lot more darker, because this one seems to blend a little bit better on the chest. There is a bicep cut, but yeah, it's the inconsistency of the color of the blues kind of makes it stand out. Has a bicep cut. I mean, an elbow double jointed. Let's see how much range can we really pull on that, because it seems like, yeah. Okay, so that's good. It does have a cut on the glove, so that's good. Rotation on the wrist. The wrist goes sideways on both arms. Now this one, it has a waist cut, but it's just a straight horizontal cut. So you're getting a clean cut like that, but it's too janky because of it's just a straight cut, you know. So you can use it a little bit, unless you're really willing to break up the sculpt, then you can use it a lot. You have a mid-torso cut, and that makes you move it around a little bit more, but I really don't think you're gonna get a whole lot of back and forth on it. There's a lot more in the back than in the front, and I think that's just because of how they designed it. See how much this is more gapping in the back than in the front? That allows you that much movement. But in the front, let me see. Okay, so whatever peg system you have to inside, you have to kind of maneuver it so that's it's leaning forward. That way, I think you can get just the littlest bit of a forward crunch. So I would suggest that if Marvel Select were to think about the design of this one, they would follow how the G.I. Joe does it, where it's not just a straight horizontal cut, but kind of like bowed underneath. That way you can have a little bit of give and all that stuff. There is no drop down for the thighs and the crotch. At least I don't think so. This one seems to make it seem like there is, but there isn't. As for the thigh swivel, there isn't any, but there is that ball joint over there does allow you to have to move it just a little bit, very similar to what McFarlane does on their figures. It's double jointed on the knees. It does have a boot cut, I believe. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Yeah, it does, but so this side is just really stiff on mine. And then range going down like so, and going up by that much. It does have an ankle rocker. Because this is the first time that I've been messing around with Diamond Select, or Marvel Select. I'm a little bit more careful. There's no ratchets on in any of the articulations, so it's all by friction, and I can already tell this is slightly getting loose, but not completely loose. That I'm afraid this is gonna get floppy eventually. For the unhelmeted look, you gotta grab this one. That's really cool that they included that. And oh, you have to pull off the entire thing. So let's put this the way it's supposed to go. Okay, I believe that's on already. Although now that I pushed down the neck over here, it feels like the ball joint on the neck to the torso is a little bit less secure than the one that's connecting the head to the neck. So that's the reason why it's pulling. Well, actually, it should pull straight from. Let's see, where's that? All right, so there it is. The look that looks really good because they bothered to put in the neck flesh tone with it, and it's kind of weird. They could have just used the same one. You know what I mean? They could have just given us the same neck on this one and just have the head instead of having two flesh tone necks and then two separate heads. It's weird that they did that, but it's cool that they did because they could have saved some tooling. Well, they could have saved some plastic any expenses on that. But that's a good look for Captain America, right? So let's go with the classic World War One Captain America, or World War Two Captain America, I should say. Sorry. But I love the fact that you have the option of doing a World War Two version of Captain America. This doesn't feel right. Let me see. So let's do it like this. Look at that. This thing rotates like that. That way you can do... That is cool that they have that much. They've thought about it that much. That's pretty cool. Hasbro doesn't even think about that because that's just tooling. That's just an additional plastic they're gonna do, but that's actually a really good thought. Oops. Unfortunately falls off. That's the other thing too. Look at that. So they have a separate one for this one, that one. So why didn't they just... Is it the same one? No, it's a different one. Okay. Maybe that's why they have it separate. But that's really cool though. That's a good World War II Captain America look. And he's smiling for the posters. Really nice. Really, really nice. So, dang it. I don't want to buy two of these, but that is just such an iconic look. Actually, all three of them are pretty much an iconic look for Captain America. But since I'm going to be posing him with a McFarlane Superman, I'm going to go for a more modern look. So there's Captain America and McFarlane Superman. And they're basically about the same amount of articulation except for the torso. For the head, it's actually better for Captain America. This is the 1999 version, or is it 24.99 version Hush Superman? But obviously this is the same body buck that was used for the Gold Collector 29.99 Superman. Which is this one over here. I have another one of this. So, man, maybe I'm going to get a second one of this so I can partner him up with the World War II Superman, because technically they're kind of the same. I don't know. But you guys have to remember, this was the $29 McFarlane figure. And this is also $29. Stay tuned. After this, I'm going to create a 7-inch scale action figure war. That's basically going across McFarlane's $30 Gold Collector to Marvel Select's $30 Captain America to NECA's $39 figures to Super 7's $55 figure. I'm going to do that comparison and we'll check and see what's going on. But to have these two side by side has always been kind of a dream of mine. It's almost the same type of articulation. No, it's almost the same type of sculpt level wise that I feel comfortable with this one. I couldn't do this with my DC Universe Classics versus Marvel Legends because, let's admit it, like DC Universe Classics is an older type of product, so the articulation is more limited than Marvel Legends, and the sculpt is too um, it's all too similar in the style of the Four Horsemen, while the Marvel Select, I mean the Marvel Legends, was just in a higher league, so I could have just had them both side by side. But this one, I feel comfortable doing it, or comparing the having them both on the same shelf presence. Um, it's kind of disappointing that Captain America is slightly taller. I do have a new Superman that I got, the Superman DC Classic, which I already know I'm gonna pull off the. I already know I'm gonna pull off the pants, the, the briefs in this one and replace it, and I'm gonna see how that looks later on. But but yeah, that's basically how I'm gonna display them. I have a lot of Superman anyway. It's really nice to have them both to sit together side by side finally. So that's basically it for my review for Captain America, Marvel Selects Captain America. We get a lot of stuff for this one. We'll go into comparisons on a later video, but for right now, for $29.99, this is a great figure. In fact, it's such a great figure, and it offers such a variety of how to display it. I'm really tempted to buy 3 of this so I can display it in 3 different ways. The weird thing is, Marvel Select, if you look at the history of the figures, and you need to look at on the marvelousfigures.com of the Marvel Select, look at this thing started 2002. 22 years later, they've actually improved the line, because before they would have multiple variants the same way that McFarlane does, where it's the same characters, same paint job, but 2 different heads. One without the face, without the mask. One with the mask. I think they did that with the Daredevil, and that's the only variant between the two. But they're the same price. But this one is at $29.99. They're offering 3 different styles that you can definitely put this guy on, and it's just amazing that they're offering that many choices in that price range. And that's what I'm looking for a toy line, for a company that really cares about its customers, to present a variety of choices that you can display your figures in a proper price value. um Super 7 kind of does it, but it charges you enormously for the price. NECA does it well. NECA is the best one out there right now. I'm gonna say it right now, but out of the comparison video. But I'm gonna stop it here. This is a great value for the price that we're getting, for the type of toy you're getting, for the amount of articulation that you're getting. Um, and like I said, I already have the Marvel Legends Captain America. I believe the Captain America Marvel Legends is great. This is an awesome Captain America from Hasbro Marvel Legends. This also comes with an unmasked head. It's got a lot of choices. It's an awesome Captain America. But for a 7-inch line, this is also an awesome Captain America. So it's up to you guys to decide. Do you want to get another Captain America? I decided to get this one, because I think this is a quintessential perfect representation of Captain America done by Marvel Select, um, in a classic look. It just is. So they're both great figures. They both are. So you won't, it's $30. It's a great price. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Please stay tuned and watch out for that 7-inch scale action figure war that I'm gonna do. It's gonna be long, because I want to make sure I present the proper argument and all that stuff. So I see you guys soon. Goodbye and have a nice day.